So where did I leave you off? Oh yeah, the moisture issue. A little more on that later.
I guess I have no choice but to just end you right here.
We traveled Skylark 115 miles up the Tennessee River, traveling through 2 locks to get to Harbor Town Marine. And after a year of ownership, this will be the very first time we actually got to see the bottom.
Like I said, can we just put this thing back in the water and pretend it never existed? Wow!
And it wasn't good. The bottom of this boat was covered in blisters and delamination. We ripped off an entire layer of fiberglass off the bottom of this boat, and then followed up with days of grinding. It all took us by surprise, and there's more surprises to come, but that's okay because we know how to get it done.
One thing I need to do is remove this swim platform. It's pretty crusty, as you can see. A lot of bolts are loose on it, and it would make it a lot easier for them to sandblast it. And we're also thinking about gel coating the very transom of this boat too, the back section of it. So let's pull this off so we can doctor the whole thing up. There is literally only one bolt holding this whole platform on. The rest of them have just crusted off. I guess we're just gonna cut it and it should slide right off. So this was definitely a Captain Dum-Dum moment. I probably should have had 2 people at least to help get that platform off. It's pretty heavy. I just had to let it fly, and I broke my swim platform ladder. It's fine. I hated that one anyway, so good opportunity to buy a new one. What I got done here is I drilled some test holes, and this one here has got a little bit of rot in the coring. Okay, as I explained earlier, there's a strip that goes down about this wide in the transom.
Now the one thing I want to be clear about, there is no coring in the transom of this boat, except for the spot that I have marked out. There are 4 coring strips going across the back of this boat, from the top of the bracket down to the very bottom of the transom, and only about as wide as the bracket.
You can see it from the inside. That is a section of wood coring, and it goes like that on each one of these swim platform supports. Now, when I took this one off, I could tell this top bolt was a little bit wiggly, and the rest are pretty solid, as well as all the other ones on the transom. When I went to go take it off, a little bit of water came out. That's just telling me right there that it had a little bit of water intrusion. So therefore I drilled test holes in each one. This one, about this much of the wood is gone. This is wiggly and there's not much in here, okay? From about this point down, it's still in there, but it's saturated. The other three are perfectly fine, which is a huge surprise because everything on this boat has just been junk. So the part that I thought for sure was absolutely destroyed is actually pretty decent. So I'm gonna have to re-glass up the little tiny test holes in these three. I'm gonna leave them alone. This one here, technically I probably should replace the coring, but I'm just not gonna do it. It's a lot of work. I already got a lot of work on my plate. It's not terrible, and it's not a super crucial structure component to the boat. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let this thing drain, and then I'm gonna drill a bigger hole, and we're just gonna inject some thickened resin down in it. Maybe either epoxy or some vinyl ester or something like that. We're just gonna take that caulking gun, just pack it full. I think that'll be good enough. If it causes a problem, if there is another problem, we'll address it later. So I think that is the game plan for all the bracketry on the swim platform. And I got extremely lucky that none of these studs actually broke off. All of them are still perfectly intact. I'm gonna go put new nuts and lock washers on each one because these studs are actually glassed into the boat. They're not all the way through. They're just, yeah, you go to the back side and you can't even see the head. So I don't know how they did it, but they're not coming out and they're not gonna be replaced very easily. Yeah, I think we're gonna just kind of put this back for the most part, fix that one little spot. And then I'm gonna take the swim platform home and we're gonna doctor up all the rust spots, just try to cosmetically fix it a little better. And now we got a clear view of being able to paint or whatever we want to do to the transom.
One medium-sized project that had to be done was remove this old bootstripe. Not only it was old, cracked up vinyl, it was also overlaid on some paint. The vinyl was so dried up, we had no choice but to sand it off along with the paint. The heat gun just wasn't cutting it, and if you ever had to sand vinyl, you'll know it makes a gummy mess.
Sandblasting. I cover the whole East Tennessee area, pretty much doing boats, farm equipment, cars. I mean, just pretty much anything. Sandblasting need paint stripped off of it, I can get it done for you. So just give us a call.
All right, this is takes a little bit of figuring out on how far we really need to go with the sandblasting. Unfortunately, it's wet blasting, and we're trying to dry out the hull, but it is what it is. And initially, right on the very front of the bow, we were gonna try to take all the gel coat completely off. But when you do that, it's very hard to gauge how deep you're going, and it just made it a lumpy mess on the front. So I think we're just gonna do it to where it's very spotty, There'll still be some gel coat on it, but there will be open areas. Maybe that will help it breathe a little better. But I think that's just what we're gonna do, is just kind of leave it where the gel coat is still kind of on it, maybe about 40–50%, and it's just kind of spotty. It's leaving a nice rough surface, so when we have to go laminate it, it's gonna be allow everything to adhere really well. But my main concern is just getting it opened up to where it will dry. I know, it's just a learning curve, learning process. We'll make it in the end, it'll be fine.
And of course, just my luck, the machine breaks down and it requires my expertise to try to wire it back together.
Here we are, back at the boat, and we are gonna get ready to clean up the bottom underneath the boat and start tarping it off. I've been reading the comments, and so many people think it's necessary I shave this bottom with a gel coat peeler. I'm not gonna totally disagree, but I just want to explain. I want to thoroughly explain so people quit saying, you need to peel the bottom of this boat. It is unnecessary. It does not need to happen. The rest of the stuff that is still on there, that layer, is perfectly adhered. For us to peel it with a gel coat peeler means I would have to get a gel coat peeler, which is $2,500. Don't have one, don't want to wait for one to come in, and I don't want to spend the money because it's just not necessary. We thoroughly looked this thing over with a handful of other professionals, and the way we're repairing it is gonna be just fine. Again, on a hobbyist level, if I could just let this boat sit somewhere like in my backyard, or that wasn't costing me thousands of dollars each month for it to sit here, then I would probably consider really getting into it a little bit deeper. We don't have the time, and we don't really want to spend the money to do that kind of stuff, because to peel this boat, I mean, for what we did on the bottom, just grinding out those patches, although you may disagree, the grinding was faster than peeling, and it took us 7 days to get to this point. So if we were to peel the rest of it, number one, we would probably have to remove all the chines off the side of the boat, which would open up a whole new window of trying to put them back. Second, just running the peeler on the side would take days and days and days, because it only pulls off like, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So we need to go down in some spots a 1/4 inch. I mean, honestly, yes, it would be awesome if I could take off a whole 1/4 inch of material off the bottom of this boat and build it back. But again, time and money, that's what it always boils down to. This is a good repair. No, it's not full-on hobbyist level. That's where I'm going to put peeling this bottom. It's going to be at hobbyist level. As we explained once already, if you were to take this boat to a boat yard, what we are doing is probably better than what you would get from most boat yards, or probably as deep as most people's pockets would want to go. So yes, I understand the concern of people saying we need to peel it the rest of the way, but it's just not gonna happen. We just cannot do it. And no, we are absolutely not causing ourselves more work too, if you want to think of that aspect. So yes, peeling it is out of the question, and hot vacuuming is also out of the question. Those are the two things that people seem to find a lot, like on YouTube and social media, of what people do with these boats that have severe bottom issues like this. Even though they are two most popular things to research, they are probably the two most uncommon things that people actually do. And also the point I want to make with the dehumidifiers, I'm trying to kind of give an idea or something that somebody can do to their boat that they don't necessarily have to spend an arm and a leg trying to get a hot vac or hot vac service to come out here or build some kind of vacuum system for the boat. I don't know right now if it will work 100%, but if it does, this is a good alternative. So we're gonna clean everything up and we're gonna start tenting it up. All right, now it is time to log the sides of this boat. We're gonna get moisture readings and mark them down. Here's a problem I'm facing. We blasted it yesterday with wet blasting, so the whole side of the boat got wet again. It has probably dried maybe 12 hours, so I'm sure the moisture readings are still gonna be pretty high. Ideally, we probably need to wait a couple days to do this, but we do not have a couple days, so we're just gonna take it for what it is, log it, and move on. Alright, we're gonna have to
keep, we don't need readings like every 2 feet. I just want a couple general that we can compare it to.
Well, just put 30. I'm gonna put them every few feet.
I just want spots marked so we know we're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah, put like 29.
Like if all this reads 30, just
put this like over plus 30, because this is really saturated. Okay, it starts getting about plus 30 right here.
You want me to
Or 30.
write on that?
Yeah, because we're gonna paint it, right? I think it's because of that coring.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is.
So this one is.
This one's
like
24. This was 20. It's not too bad. This one's plus 30. Do like 29 right here. It's not as bad. Like 25. This area is like 24. Ooh, that's not bad.
That's coming down, I would say.
Yeah. So this one right here is plus 20. About 22. I'll put 22 on that spot.
27, 26.
27.
Okay.
This is plus 30, but over here, even though it's close to the water line, it's about 23.
Where?
23, about right here. It's 25 and then like 29. It's 28 and then 30. All right, so we got the entire bottom of this boat logged. It's kind of what I expected, and there was a few surprises. There was some that were not off the charts, which is a positive thing. And you also got to think, we just washed this thing yesterday. and we probably needed to let it dry for a few more days before we took the readings again. But we have some base levels, so we're gonna now start the tarping process.
So we had to clean up where they sandblasted. They don't do that, so keep that in mind if you have your boat sandblasted. These are the ones I did. This is his method down there on the end.
What are you trying to say?
Mind you, I didn't move any of these by myself, but this is my folding method. This is his method. This is also what Christmas gifts look like.
That's my Christmas gift to you. A big folded mess. And these are nicely, look like Swiss cake rolls. Alright, so the next step in the process here of making our tent is we need to tape the plastic to the boat. So you don't really just like tape stuff to boats because it leaves a nasty residue. Duct tape is horrible. If you put duct tape on some gel coat, it will never come off. You almost have to sand it. And masking tape, once it gets wet, it also sticks on there really bad, and it also gets weak and comes apart. So what we have is some tape that is meant for doing heat shrink wrapping on boats. So it's like when you're up north, does not real common around here and farther south, where you heat shrink wrap boats for the winter time for their storage. You put this type of tape down first. This is like a protection layer. It's called preservation tape. So this sticks to the side of the boat, and this is the actual heat shrink tape. So this will stick to the preservation tape. Use this to tape the plastic to the preservation tape, which is taped to the side of the boat. And when we go take it all off, it should, in theory, come off and be nice. Alright, we got all the fans and dehus set up and running. We're just trying to run them just to see if they have any kind of power issue, if they're going to blow breakers and stuff like that. They're not crazy. They all draw like 7 amps a piece, and I got one running through the boat through the 30 amp shore power, and the fans running through the 30 amp shore power, and the other dehumidifier is running with an extension cord all the way to the shore power box. So we should be good, but we're just gonna let them run this whole time while we're taping it up, just to make sure they will stay running, because they gotta run for like 4 weeks. So here goes the next stage. Let's build the curtain.
Look, I want to be clearly honest with you guys. Time and money is the primary focus on this entire haul out process. In order for us to stay on course for our big adventure in October, we have to be very mindful on how much time and money we spend on the boat. We are carefully trying to find the fine line between a patch job and a proper repair on the bottom of this boat. I have been consulting with lots of professionals behind the scenes trying to find that balance. This boat won't be splashed till the end of July. That only gives us about 2.5 months to complete anything else that needs to be done to this boat before we depart. And we are already over the threshold of being able to get everything done we want to do before we take our journey. I want to take this moment and fill you guys in on something that has been a very hot topic in the comments. And that is assisting the drying process with heat. Now, I know everybody is being as helpful as they can, and I much appreciate it, but we cannot use heat during the drying process. Keep in mind, we live about an hour and a half away, and we are not staying up here during this drying process. If we were using some kind of gas or liquid fuel, we just wouldn't be here to top it off or refuel it. Not only that, I don't think I'd be very comfortable having open flames in this tent for weeks on, unattended. And as for electric heat, I don't think the marina will really appreciate the amount of power that's going to suck up for 4 weeks. And also keep in mind, it is June in the south, and inside that tent is almost 100 degrees just on its own.
All right, that was an incredible amount of work. Oh.
Wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't hot already.
Yeah, it's really hot and humid. It's supposed to rain today at some point. At least we beat the rain.
Yeah.
But here she is. We got her all tarped up for the osmosis treatment. Well, guys, that is pretty much it for I don't know how long. Until at least next weekend when we come back and check it out. But let's hope this hard work pays off. We could actually start laminating it here in a few weeks. And then we get to go have some fun. Well, after we get the bottom fixed and the boat back together, of course.
And cleaned.
And cleaned. So, I guess I have no choice but to just end you right here.